Shalom. Thank you. This is a big honor. I really like this event. I try to attend it every year, so being on stage is an achievement. Thanks for that. So I'm going to be presenting today some work rendered and kind of like abstracted in order to make it a bit more consumable by humans in the crowd. This work is based on a few layers from IBM research, IBM Cloud designers and developers, presented already recently in the Technion, so Ran, apologies, you're the only face I recognize that was there too. And a few more events, yeah, you too, sorry for that. So again, many people contributed to this, 2 papers, 3 conferences, and 1 patent filed recently on the novelty of this. Sorry. Okay, so let's talk a minute about chatbots. Chatbots are everywhere. It's pretty hard to go by a day without interacting with a chatbot. Service, e-commerce, you name it. And Gartner predicted a couple of years back already that by 2020, 85% of all customer support interactions are going to be powered by virtual agents. We're going to talk about virtual agents, chatbots, and things like that. This is all referring to the same thing, which is essentially computer software that's interacting in natural language, usually through text with humans. So this is a big deal. Oops, sorry. Okay, so the initial work by this group was about sorting out and kind of like being able to recognize or identify conversation that got really wrong. Wrong in the sense where people got really angry at the chatbot. The scientific term we used was egregious conversations. And after working on millions of conversations from different domains generated by interactions with Watson Assistant, which is the IBM chat underlying technology, the conclusion was that 8% of all human to chatbot interactions are egregious. So if we part that with the number I just showed about the 85% of all support interactions being with chatbots, this, from the business side of things, this has a huge impact on the industry, any industry. Because when people are mad or unsatisfied, that has monetary consequences, so that is like the business motivation. Why even pay attention to this? And the other aspect that Michal kind of like introduced us to is the explainable AI, or why is it even a motivation, or why do we even bother visualizing that data and making sense of it? Ginny Rometty, IBM CEO, said last year, we must explain why algorithms make the decisions they do. Again, is that fully lived by? I will let you be the judge of it. But in general, I'll move away from just explainable AI and just show this as an instance of a work we did around the chatbot analytics in order to see what it is we could be presenting. Because again, this is a research project analyzing chatbot analytics. What's in it to us, kind of. So the objective is to help the people that design these conversations, design conversations that lead to less egregious situations. Again, because we understand the implications of that and the negative effect that might have on the business. And the design opportunity, or probably what's in it for us as designers stepping into this project, was to say this is a relatively new space. The standards aren't really established of how do we represent chatbot data. We know how web analytics works, that's pretty established by now, but we don't know how to present something that is highly complex, very abstract in nature, and we definitely could not present it per conversation. That's way too detailed, no one's going to consume that data. So that is a design challenge or opportunity for us. And the solution I'm going to show here in a minute, with a perfect lift from Eden in his talk, with the exploration of space, we came up with a concept for an interactive tool that takes the data, it's a post-process of conversations, not real-time yet, and kind of like walks the chatbot designer through it, helping her make sense out of it. And the idea is people are limited in time and resources in that sense that we cannot fix manually each of the conversations. We're looking to see what are the things that if we fix them, we're more likely to reduce the bad impact of those conversations. So LCARs, maybe it has to do with the fact that most of the people here are around the same age working on this project, subconsciously bringing together this exploring the universe of egregious conversations. That's actually the name of the paper we produced. I started showing this demo from kind of like the middle point. So just a couple of terms to make it reason. Conversations today, or I would say in the industry, are visualized as directed graphs, which means many circles and arrows between them. What we did is removed a lot of that complexity and said the paper or the method comes up with terms, and the terms are like the reasons or the words that are tied to why people got mad, why did these conversations go wrong. So for this example, the store open hours wasn't giving good results, and that's a sun, and around it there's the planets. The planets are the intents, and intents are the way the chatbot designer anticipated people to ask about it. So this concept of exploration, this is the way you could have like more data or less data, and this is like the full universe view. This is a single chatbot conversation blueprint, if you may, because when we talk about conversations, it could be confusing. Are we talking about a single conversation or about the structure? So whoever has experience in designed conversations, you know, you're kind of like building a structure, and once it's out there, people are going to be like traveling within it, within this blueprint. So again, this is a very different view on it, showing in general, this is what's creating this anger. And then you could drill down into it. Again, I showed this view already. Based on like the heat or the dominancy or the size, representing how big is this as an issue for your conversation. And then you could really explore it and see what are the intents that went wrong or weren't interpreted properly. One phenomena we have with chatbots is people would be rephrasing, trying to say the same thing over and over again in expecting the chatbot to pick it up and understand their intent. When that doesn't happen, you say, oh, just let me go. And this is the way we were exploring within the intent and bringing a recommendation saying, consider adding an intent about information store location because we're seeing people aren't satisfied there. Sorry. So just to close and answer the question in the spirit of design thinking, asking the 5 whys. Why are people angry at chatbots? Because they are not getting the answers they expected, or they expect, sorry. Why is that happening? Because their intention isn't predefined. That's the way chatbots work today. And why is that? Because there is a gap in the conversation design. Again, a human has to sit in advance and kind of like anticipate what will be the user's intent. And why does that happen? Because we don't know everything about our users' needs in advance. And this tool, we hope to deliver a way for people to improve that. And one last thing before we leave is IBM Research set up this kind of like interactive site where you could be the bot, kind of like a game where you switch roles and you're going to be the bot and you're going to play with humans trying to interpret their intents. Part of it is based on the work we did and classifying and like kind of like empathizing with the bot. And that's it.